my name is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and today we're here to craft again with some items from Globleland, and we're doing dye again today. We've got some dragonflies over here, we got some butterflies over here, and I want to show you something about this butterfly dye, because at first I thought, okay, it's going to cut out this big burst of butterflies coming out. But if you look at it, you see all the raised areas? Those are the blades. We're going to end up with a bunch of little butterflies, I'm pretty sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this one out just to see, and we're going to cut it out in white. So we're going to get out our Big Shot, and like we do the first time through, I'll show you what to do. You got your plates, you got your big fat one, you got the green one, and then you have the two little clear ones. You put the big one and the green one down. Okay, I know it's hard to see. Then you put one of the clear ones down. Then you put the paper down. Then you put the dye. Then you put the dye blades down on the paper. Okay? Then you put the top plastic one on. Oh, I got it too far in because I was trying to show you, so I had it slid toward the inside. Okay, and then you just run it through. We're going to end up with a bunch of little butterflies. I know it. Okay, we'll run it back. Maybe not. It doesn't feel like it's cutting out a bunch of little butterflies. Maybe I'm wrong. No, cut out a bunch of little butterflies. Alright, now, let me pick the dye up off the floor. It almost looks like I should have run it through one more time. Let's move this out of the way. I don't get it. So the wings go up. The wings can all go up like so, which is cool, but then I'm confused. It didn't cut out around. So are you left to cut around it? That doesn't make sense. Because the centers of the bodies are made in such a way that they don't cut out and you do all the little wings. But how do you do... Well, this is my own fault for picking this one and not understanding how it worked. This is cool, where all the little wings come up and you've got like a little thing of butterflies coming out. But then I guess you fussy cut around all of these to make your little burst of butterflies coming out. Now, I'm not going to do that on camera, or maybe ever. But you would need to, if you're on white paper, you would need to color them or something. But I thought we were going to get a bunch of individual butterflies, and that messes up my plan for what we were going to do on here. So, let's... because I was going to put the butterflies coming out of these holes. Well, these two come apart. So had I taken them apart, we would have had two little clouds of butterflies, but we still would have had no edge that cuts out, because there's no blade along the edge to cut out an outline. Now that would have made more sense. This is the dye, not Globleland, but that would have made more sense. It's to have a little blade edge that runs around the outside, then the inside blades that cut so that the butterfly wings come up. Now I was wondering about that when I looked at it. Let me show you. I was wondering about it when I looked at it, because you can see the little butterfly bodies do not have a little raised up blade in that area. So I wondered, it was like an experiment to see how that was going to cut out. So now that I know, I would have printed this on some kind of flowered paper, maybe, something like that, and had like a burst of flowered butterflies coming out, but I still don't know how I would have cut it out. So I'm not sure about this one. And this is the die, not them, but I'm just confused as to what you're supposed to do with it once you cut all these little butterflies out and their wings go up, which is so cool. Their little wings go up. I love it. It's like a little cloud of butterflies and their wings all go up, which is brilliant. I just don't understand why they didn't have an outside line that cut the whole thing out. So I guess you do that on your own. So we'll move on. I'm still confused. Anyway, we'll move on. If you remember last time, we did these die and we made our abstract. And then we did this with our clock. And we had our little Timmy guy sitting right there. Okay. So then I thought maybe on the front we would have had those little butterflies coming out as an example. But I think what I'll do, we're going to cut these dragonfly out. Let's do that. They're going to all come out separate. And I'm doing it over here where all 4 feet are on the ground solid, because I knew this one was going to be a little bit harder to go through, because I'll show you in a minute what I did. I meant to show you ahead of time. I left them all together. I didn't separate the dragonfly out because I want to keep them all together and make it easy to cut them all out at once and not keep track of them all separate. So what I did was I left them together. I left them together, and you see all the connector pieces right here, right here, right here. They're going to be on there still, I think. Actually, no, the blades. What is wrong with me today? Let's take them out. Yes, they all cut out separate. And all you have are the little lines where these lines are. And then you have all the dragonfly flies. Okay, let me get my pokey tool and my toothbrush. Let's just see which one works better. Probably the pokey tool, because we're working with these little bitty holes. Yeah. So there's only 2 holes per dragonfly, so you should be able to pop them out of the inside of here by pushing on the there we go. And you just poke the pokey tool through the holes, and you grab a hold of the raised up die cut. This is the die. These are the die cut. Or cut die, get it? So I poke both to get them loose, and then I poke one and hold it and flip it over and grab the popped up part. Which, remind me, next time I will make the body and not the antennae. Okay. Here's your label. So you can label your samples. Okay. You can stamp number 1, 2, 3 on there or whatever you want. This one has 3. Yeah, it's much easier when you get the fat part. Okay, do this. This one only has 1. You grab his little bottom and pull him right off. And you grab his little, grab his little bottom and pull him right off. Sorry about that. My camera got moved again. I keep bumping it with my head. I have a note on there that says, "Camera, stupid," and I still keep bumping my head on it. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to make these usable. Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to, that will still work. Anyway, my plan is to bring in my Prismacolor soft core pencils, which the cover looks like this. I have 72 colored pencils. Soft core means they're more like crayons than pencils. Whereas if you just get colored pencils, they're more like pencils than crayons. I like the softer ones better. And you use a blending pencil, which is just a crayon with no color. So you've got the wax of the crayon but no color, and so you can blend with it. Okay, this is doesn't come on here. That's for me, help me hold on to it. Okay, let me get my sharpener and my Prismacolor sharpener. And I don't necessarily need this super sharp. And there's 2 holes in this. Depends on how sharp you want the point. Okay. Now, what I thought was use some kind of a brown and a gray, maybe. Okay. We'll take one of these guys and I think that we can do his head. And I'm just going back and forth just like you color. And then I'm going to do this next to it. I don't think there's going to be enough difference in color. Let's see if I can get a little bit lighter one. What if he's gold in the center? So he's got 3 different colors. And then you're really supposed to blend these differently, but and then his tail goes into an iridescent green. Or teal. Like so. And you color the light into the dark. And then we'll take our blending pencil. Which I've never used this before. It's also got a grippy on the outside. And then you just color over it. Let me show it to you before it's blended. So you can see all the separate little colors except for where I started to blend it. Then you take your blending pencil and you blend it, and it also makes it smooth so you don't see the individual coloring lines, if that makes sense, unless you want to. So I'm going to blend this into here, and then I'm also going to color over the area that, even though it's a solid color, so it's like coloring over your coloring, and it blends even just the one color you put down and smooths it out. Okay, so now we've got this kind of a cool little body on our die cut. So then, let's say his antennae match his bottom. I'm not very good at this, in case anybody's asking or wondering. I haven't practiced enough. The blending part I'm alright at. Coloring, not so much. You have to kind of be careful in your more delicate areas of your die cut. Okay, so that's his body. And now for his wings, let's go here's a trick. They come in trays, or they come in a tin. And so these lay on top of each other inside. Well, it's really kind of hard, even though they have little finger grabbies, to get them out without dumping all the pencils everywhere. So you take a piece of paper. This is just one piece of paper. You can see I've been practicing on it, or doing the colors on it. And you put it underneath with enough outside, and then you can pick the tray up without spilling them all. So that's the trick to that. So then let's make, is this a darker purple or is it a blue? No, it's kind of purple. Let's do this little I just want to guide. So then we're going to have the darker here. This is going to look bad, but I'm just saying. So now if we do this part, and we color the orange into the purple, it will kind of blend by itself. These are meant for children. So even though my hands are small, I guess they're not as small as a child's. I need to get one of those other kind of grippies. And then you just blend it in. And I'm not going to torture you by making you watch me color this whole thing. But I just wanted to show you what you could do with your dye. And then I'm going to blend it along the edge because it's not going to be a, I mean, it is going to be a straight line, but she's still, so you're going to go up and down and follow the line of the body. You're not going to blend the wing into the body because they're separate. Oh, it looks like they had the spots already on there. Yeah, they don't come out, but they're outlined. No, they're not. That's weird. That's so weird. It's just something in the paper right there. And you'll see, even with just no ink or no color in the pencil, it will still blend out this purple a little bit into the clear because it'll pick up the wax off of the purple and it will blend it out. So then let's just do the orange. Now there would be variations in this orange area. You know what I mean? It would be like yellow and orange. But we're just doing this, are you smarter than a 5th grader kind of thing. Which obviously I am not. And then we're going to go around it. Now I just did it opposite of what I said. And it colors a little smoother on top of the where we put the clear because there's already wax there. Right? You got me? I'm totally not picking the right colors. I don't know what that is right there. Looks like imprints, but it's not from the dye. And then you got to blend your orange as well. So if I had 10 colors in here, like it should be instead of 3, it would look a lot better. That's why you blend from the light into the dark, because this picks up a little bit of the color on the end, and if you don't do the light into the dark, then you're going to end up smearing the color into the light. That doesn't make any sense at all. I picked up some of the blue and the purple, and when I went to color in here, even though it was supposed to be a clear blending pencil, it still had just a little bit of color that it had picked up from here, and it tried to transfer it into there. So this is a really bad coloring job, but, and I mean really bad. So I'll probably dye the others. And we can make it look like they're flying in and out of the squares. Now, if we had done this correctly, or if we had done it all at once instead of one piece at a time, you know, one in one video and one in the other, not knowing what we were going to do in each video, we could have put a couple of the dragonflies down and then put the rectangles over them, and then the rectangles would cover part of their wings, and it would look like they were flying in and out of the squares. Okay, as it is, can make one look like it's coming out, and then another and another going smaller. But what I'm thinking now is that we take the colors and we admit that we have been beaten. Put these in the lid so I can put them back where they belong. I have them all color sorted. Where they go. And let's take these and ink the edge. This is going to be fun. I'm going to get it all over my finger. I just got all the black ink off of my fingers. But now I'm going to get it back. Let's ink a couple of them in the black to go along with our theme. That's probably where one of those finger daubers would have come in handy. Except I don't like them. My fingers are so small that I spend more time trying to hold it on either side than I do inking. I had a nice friend that gave me a bunch once. I didn't use them. Oh, that looks kind of cool. So I regifted them, which was probably not a good idea. I'm not inking this very well, but I'm just kind of having at it. That was a definite error. That was a unforced error. I'm going to try to bend this a little so I can get in here, but that's not really working either. See? Plus I'm working with black. So we're going to make this look intentional. I'm going to do the tips of this one black. On purpose. Okay, that's enough for our example. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them over here. We're going to put one here, and we're going to put a couple over here. And then, to go along with our steampunk theme, I'm going to glue them down. Didn't really really mean to glue his wing. I didn't really mean to put him there either. Our little guy is there for photography purposes. I just want you to know my phone is in the other room. That's how loud it's dinging. Well, my computer's dinging too, but the volume's turned down on the computer, so. But you can hear them both. It's probably time for my chat. Okay. Now, I forgot to get out any numbers. But you could stamp out a number on here. I didn't get any number stamps from Globleland anyway. So we're going to put this, wish I'd put this one at an angle. Oh, I can still move him. Look at me go. Okay, that's better. So let's put this down. Over here. Now, in order to keep the theme going, what we need is metal. Now, I'm not sure how many little bitty ones I've got. What is going on there? So, let's get out the metal. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, let's go all the way down to the bottom. Wow, if I'd have realized we had to go this far. I didn't realize how many charms I have, apparently. Here's where all my little gears and stuff are. So we're going to take some of these smaller ones. We're going to put them on the dragonfly. I don't think I have one small enough to go on the tail. But you'll get the idea. What if I get one size bigger? And now Fabri-Tac will hold these, believe it or not. And so all I have to do is glue them down. Now, of course, I've got smaller ones somewhere. And I could put a couple on the wings too. I'll do that off camera and take the pictures, and you'll see the pictures. You'll have seen the pictures at the beginning of the video. Even though the colored ones would have been more realistic, I kind of like the black and white with the gears. Totally unrealistic, which makes it steampunk to me. If we had some little hats and stuff to put on them, then I would be all in. Okay, now here's a smaller one. Let's see if I've got one like that one. I'm sure I do. They usually come in pairs. Okay, now these look like they have little bolts in them, little screws in them, I mean. That was my stomach. I think I'm dying. So we'll glue these on. And I want to glue them in the same direction. In other words, I want both of them to have their little bolts facing the same way. Now these all came in one batch. So you can look around, and Globleland doesn't, they do dies and stamps. So, which is cool. You can get a very hot, there's a very large variety at a very decent price. Okay, so we'll do that one like that. Alright, so then that gives you a steampunk sort of image on our page. Now, if we had really wanted to go all in, we could have made some other kind of character out of the gears, right? Something else. Like some kind of crazy looking bird or something. And that would have done it too. So for now though, just for demonstration purposes, that's how you use the die, and then we ink them, and that's an example. The colored one, forget that one from your mind. I thought maybe I could do it a little bit better, but smaller makes it harder to blend. So you only have so much space to work in to get your little color in. And I have obviously am not smarter than a 5th grader. So that's that. On the cover, let me move him for now, because I don't have very many people. I only have a few that my friend sent me. That's why I'm not gluing them down to our example. And then we have this on the cover, and then you open it, and we have this. So that's basically what our little goal was over the 2 videos, was to come up with something. Okay? Alright, well that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.